this House has considered the Polish contribution to the United Kingdom. Mr. Davis, as the first ever Polish-born British Member of Parliament, I take great pride in my Polish roots. And I feel a sense of responsibility, given my Polish background, in sometimes putting to the fore, in the crucible of the House of Commons, issues pertaining to Anglo-Polish relations, but also the well-being of the huge Polish diaspora that currently live in the United Kingdom.
I was an intelligence officer, Mr. Davis, when Poland was behind the Warsaw Pact, and I have to tell you that we considered Poland to be the least reliable Warsaw Pact member. And we thought if we had to go to war with the Warsaw Pact, the bloody Poles would come on our side, Mr. Ambassador. That's what we thought, and that we considered to be a real credit to Poland.
Mr. Davis, what I'd like to say is that some Polish journalists say to me, how can you, as somebody of Polish origin, have campaigned for Brexit? How could you have done that? Whereby natural extension, it will prevent more Poles from coming to the United Kingdom. And I can understand why some Polish media commentators complain about some of us campaigning for Brexit. But, Mr. Davis, I'm not going to be prescriptive here. It's not for me to tell all 850,000 Poles living in this country where their loyalties ought to lie. But some of us who have come to this country and who have settled in this country and whose families have been born in this country, our loyalties have moved to the United Kingdom.
Just to go back to what I was saying about entrepreneurial skills of the Polish community, in 2014 it was estimated that 22,000 companies had been set up by Polish-born entrepreneurs, with a further 65,000 registered as self-employed. Poles are employed throughout our society, including right here in this very house. Polish people have enriched our country, and whilst the UK remains in the EU, all her citizens continue to enjoy the rights and status that they had prior to the referendum. The government wants to be able to guarantee the legal status of EU nationals who are living in the UK, and we are confident that we will be able to do this. But we also must win the same rights for British nationals living in European countries.
During the Battle of Britain, the Polish 303 Squadron got the highest number of kills. Let's just reflect on that. The 303 Squadron shot down more enemy aircraft than any other squadron. 126. Winston Churchill talked about that so much was owed by so many to so few, and I think that's a sentence or a phrase that certainly I've remembered, and it's a very poignant message. 10 Polish fighter squadrons supported the British war effort, and they flew alongside their British colleagues, comrades, not just throughout Europe, but also in North Africa. 1941-1942, Polish bomber squadrons formed an astonishing 1/6 of the manpower available to RAF Bomber Command. So again, I'd like colleagues just to contemplate, 1/6 of the manpower for the whole of RAF Bomber Command came from Poland. That is something that Poles are very, very proud of in what they have contributed. We will come on later to talking about what they're contributing to Britain now. But that historic contribution, no other country, Mr. Davis, sent as many airmen and soldiers to fight in the Battle of Britain than Poland. And I think that's something that we should celebrate, and we should thank the Poles for that unique contribution.
We've already talked about the Second World War, so I'll try and avoid repetition. Can I, as an intelligence officer, reiterate the point about what happened south of Warsaw on the 25th of July in the Kabata Woods, if I say that correctly, the Kabata Woods, where the Polish bomb and all B-O-B, B-O-M-B-E and ice cream was a machine, was handed over to the French and the British, and was ultimately responsible for helping us to crack the Enigma code. The Poles did it. They started it. The French, the British, the Americans didn't have it, but the Poles had it. I have got 30 seconds left to say what I think of Poland. I'll tell you what I think of Poland. I think it's a damn good country. We are very lucky to have it as an ally. They are really decent people. I have visited it for the first time 3 months ago. My God, I'm going back there, and I'm very, very grateful that we have such wonderful people as part of our NATO alliance. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Well,
Just to conclude, Mr. Davis, I would just like to say that all members who are here today and members in the gallery can absolutely thank my honourable friend for Shrewsbury for bringing this important debate to the House. We have always welcomed law-abiding migrants to this country, and the contribution of the Polish community to this country is one that should be absolutely celebrated.
50 seconds.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. I'm very grateful to the Minister in the way that he has tried to answer some of the questions that we've posed to him. I look forward to working with him over the coming months in his capacity to ensure that the Polish diaspora is protected. I was very heartened by the number of colleagues who have come here today, who have contributed to highlight what is happening in their constituencies with the Polish diaspora, and very, very proud of the support I've received today. Look forward to this issue with the diaspora being settled as soon as possible. Thank you.